Let me ask you something weird. If I gave you $1,000 right now, cash, no strings attached, what would you do with it? Some of you just thought invest it. Some of you thought pay off my credit card. And honestly, a few of you thought new shoes. And here's the thing, none of those answers are wrong. But they say everything about how your brain is wired around money. And that, my friend, is what today's video is all about. Because managing money, it's not about math. It's not about spreadsheets or compound interest calculators. It's about psychology. It's about your feelings, your fears, your past, and that weird little voice in your head that says treat yourself every time you open Amazon. Welcome to the psychology of money. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the first thing you need to understand. Money is emotional. Full stop. We like to think we're rational creatures. We tell ourselves, I make smart financial decisions based on logic. But studies show that most of our money choices are made emotionally first, and then we just make up logical reasons after the fact. You didn't buy that $6 coffee because you calculated that the caffeine-to-cost ratio was optimal. You bought it because it felt good, because Tuesday was rough and you deserved it, because the barista wrote a little hard on the cup. That's not weakness. That's just being human. But if you don't know it's happening, you can't do anything about it. So let's talk about where these money habits actually come from. Here's something most finance videos won't tell you. Your relationship with money was basically decided before you turned 10. No, seriously. Think about it. What did money look like in your house growing up? Was it something your parents argued about at the dinner table? Was it something you never talked about, like it was some forbidden topic? Or maybe it was something that just never seemed to be enough, no matter how hard everyone worked? Those experiences didn't just away. They became your template for how money works. They became the little stories you tell yourself every day. Stories like, rich people are greedy, or we're just not a wealthy family, or even, I'm bad with money, which, by the way, is probably the most dangerous one, because once you believe it, you stop trying. Morgan Housel, who literally wrote a book called The Psychology of Money, puts it beautifully. He says everyone's been playing a different game, shaped by different experiences, different eras, different families. So when two people look at the same financial situation, they might make completely opposite choices, and both think they're being completely rational. That's not stupidity. That's just different software running on different machines. All right, let's talk about something that quietly ruins more financial lives than anything else. It's called keeping up with the Joneses. And before you say, oh, I don't do that, hold on. The Joneses are sneaky now. They don't just live next door. They live in your Instagram feed. They're the person who just posted a beach vacation photo. They're your coworker who drives a car that's somehow nicer than their salary should allow. They're the influencer telling you that this bag, this watch, this lifestyle is what success looks like. And here's the wild part. Studies show that humans care more about relative wealth than absolute wealth. Meaning, people feel richer making $100,000 in a neighborhood where everyone makes $80,000 than making $200,000 in a neighborhood where everyone makes $300,000. We don't measure success in dollars. We measure it in comparison. And that comparison? It's a race with no finish line, because there will always be someone with a bigger house, a newer car, or a fancier vacation. The only way to win that game is to stop playing it. And that sounds simple, but trust me, it's one of the hardest psychological battles you'll ever fight. Now let's get into one of my favorite money
Psychology concepts, loss aversion. Here's the deal. Losing $100 feels roughly twice as bad as gaining $100 feels good. Let that sink in. It's not 50-50. It's not even close. The pain of losing is way more powerful than the pleasure of winning. This is why people hold on to bad investments forever, because selling means making the loss real. As long as you don't sell, you can tell yourself it'll bounce back. It's also why people keep money in a savings account earning 1% interest, even when inflation is eating it alive, because at least it feels safe. Here's a real-life example. Imagine two people. Person A invests their money and watches it grow slowly but steadily over 20 years. Person B checks their portfolio every single day, panics every time the market dips, and keeps moving money in and out. Who do you think ends up with more money? Person A. Every time. Because person B let their emotions, specifically their fear of loss, make their financial decisions for them. Loss aversion isn't just a quirk. It's one of the biggest reasons smart people make terrible money decisions. Okay, here's one that's going to feel uncomfortably relatable. It's called lifestyle inflation. You get a raise. Amazing. You deserve it. So you upgrade your apartment. Get a nicer car. Start ordering from better restaurants. Buy clothes that are objectively the same clothes, but cost 3 times as much. And suddenly, your raise doesn't feel like a raise at all. You're just spending more. This is lifestyle inflation, the tendency for our spending to rise automatically with our income. And it happens so gradually, so naturally, that most people don't even notice it. The tricky psychological part? Each upgrade feels earned. And maybe it is. But when every single raise goes immediately into a higher standard of living, you never actually build wealth. You just build a more expensive version of living paycheck to paycheck. The people who actually build real wealth, they're not the ones making the most money. They're the ones who increase their income and resist the urge to immediately inflate their lifestyle to match. Boring? A little. Effective? Wildly. Let's talk about one more big idea, and this one might be the most important one in the whole video. It's the difference between looking rich and being rich. We live in a world that constantly rewards the appearance of wealth. Big house, nice car, designer brand. Look successful, get treated like you're successful. But here's the dirty secret. The flashiest people in the room are often the ones with the least savings. Think about it. A person driving a $90,000 car? We assume they're wealthy. But what if they have $2,000 in savings and $60,000 in debt? That car is just a very expensive costume. Real wealth is invisible. It's the money you didn't spend. It's the investment you made quietly, without posting about it. It's the emergency fund sitting in an account, doing nothing flashy, just quietly making you less fragile. Nobody posts a photo on Instagram of their index fund portfolio. Nobody brags at a dinner party about their healthy savings rate. But those invisible choices, those are the ones that actually change lives. So what do we do with all of this? Here's the honest answer. You can't logic your way out of psychological patterns, but you can become aware of them. And awareness is where everything starts. Next time you're about to make a big purchase, ask yourself, is this what I actually want? Or am I buying this to feel something? To impress someone? To fill a gap? Next time you feel the urge to check your investment portfolio every 20 minutes, remind yourself that you're wired to panic at losses. The best thing you can do is often nothing. And next time you find yourself comparing your financial life to someone else's, remember you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. You don't know their debt. You don't know their anxiety. You just see the car. Money isn't just about what you earn or how you invest. It's about understanding the weird, emotional, deeply human creature that's making the decisions. Know yourself, and the numbers start to take care of themselves. That's a wrap for today. If this made you think even a little differently about money, drop a comment below. I'd genuinely love to know what hit home for you. And if you're new here, welcome. We talk about life, money, and the stuff nobody really taught us in school. Subscribe if that's your kind of thing. See you in the next